are starting
Yeah,
to see.
Zeke's playing. He's been practicing all week. I think when we met on Monday, I told you we expect him to practice, and he's gotten better all week. So we fully expect Zeke to play and be ready to roll. We're just excited to be here. It's been a long time coming, and we landed here probably in between 9 and 10, and got to the hotel and kept our guys up. So we're going to get ready to practice here in the next probably 20 minutes. And truly try to enjoy our time here. We obviously know we're here for a reason, but the chance for us, our families, to experience a place like this and to be not only in Dublin but in the country of Ireland is really exciting. So thanks for all that have made this come together. And with that, I'll open up for questions.
Go ahead, raise your hand, and I'll point you out. Go ahead, right down here in the front row.
Coach Michael McQuaid, Pro Football Ireland. Good to chat to you again. Sam Hartman coming in, big storyline this weekend, first game. He seems to have really struck up a deep connection with his players so far. How have you found him in the first or the last few weeks of practice?
He's been awesome. He's really done a good job at gifting our players a couple of things with a pair of shoes and the Beats headphones. I think he's really got those guys in his corner. But Sam's just a great teammate and a really great leader. He pushes those guys, but it's from a level of trust, right? They trust him. That's what I believe in leadership. And so he's excited to play. I met with him yesterday, kind of one-on-one, and said, "Hey, you've done this going on your 6th year. And you're playing a lot of games. Let's relax, just focus on these days, building up to this game, and go do what you do." And so I know he's excited to get out there on Saturday, but I'm going to try to keep focused for the next 2 days and really take advantage of these next 2 days that we have.
Go ahead, second row over here on the right. Go ahead. Yep.
Hi, Elizabeth Hurst from F14 and Q&A at Dublin. What's the build-up in mind, kind of travelling over to Ireland, and how much would it mean, I suppose, to have that home crowd here on Saturday?
Well, we've been preparing, myself and some of our staff have been preparing for the logistics of traveling over here for a long time. Right? We met about it in the spring and in the summer and really did some research on when we want to come and what we're going to do and the routine we'll have when we get here. But we're finally here, and that's exciting to finally have wheels down here in Ireland, and we're excited to be a part of this. And that's what I keep telling our players. We have to understand we're here for a reason, to play a game and to win a game, but it's okay to enjoy being in the country of Ireland. And I want them to embrace it and enjoy it, because I'm going to. But we're excited and we're ready, and the build-up's been good, but now it's time to get ready for the game on Saturday.
Go ahead, front row right on the left.
Coach Jimmy English, Gaelic Gridiron. This is a home game for Notre Dame, and there's a huge contingent of fans coming over. How much of an impact do you expect the crowd to have in terms of being at your back and making some noise and really adding to the atmosphere?
Yeah, I think it's going to be in our favor. I just, for the first time, had a chance to walk out in that stadium, and you see how it's structured. It looks like it's going to keep a lot of the noise inside, and that hopefully will work in our favor. We've had a lot of people, I think coaches, players that are over here that have been here all week, and I've heard it from people I've talked to, like there's Notre Dame fans everywhere over here, and it's just, it's exciting, but a great reminder of the global impact this university has. And it's subtle reminders like that when you hear about, man, I got off the plane and everybody's saying go Irish, and when you hear that from other people, it's like, okay, it's a reminder. Sometimes we take for granted how special this place is.
Thanks, Coach.
Go ahead, Tim Priest up there on the left.
From a couple weeks ago, you mentioned the possibility of Eli Raritan being ready for this first game. Are you going with that, or are you going to wait?
No, he won't be ready. He's not ready yet. And so Timmy's working his way back. It's just, it's a process. And I think his strength is getting close to where it needs to be, but this is a mental and physical thing to come back from your second ACL. And so I'm trusting our doctors and kind of trusting him to know when his body's ready to go.
Are you shooting for like NC State, or is it still too early to?
No, I would love to see him come to Tennessee State.
Yeah.
But, every day I say, how's Eli going? He's getting better, and he's just not ready yet. And so it will probably be a couple games, I would think, because he hasn't truly done a lot of good on good practice. And so when he's cleared, I don't think he's going to be ready to go in 2 days. And so it's going to be a process of truly getting the game ready.
Thank you.
Anything else? Go ahead, down here, Tyler.
Marcus, how much has the second half of the Navy game last year been a message and knowing like not to take this game for granted throughout the week?
Yeah, I just watched it, on the plane. Yeah, gosh, there's so many teaching plays, but you get angry sometimes when you watch this. I truly believe that we let our foot off the pedal. When we were making mistakes that was effort-based, and that's the one thing that it can't happen in our program is when we make mistakes, we're getting beat because of effort. Scheme is one thing, but because we weren't getting great effort, I think it was just a cumulative effect of Clemson, we're up big after the first half, and I mean, both sides of the ball. Both sides of the ball in the second half didn't play up to our standard, and so they're reminded often. I needed that for myself. I was looking at just different situations. Hey, how do we call this, and what are we looking for? But it was a great reminder that if you give them a chance, they're going to take advantage because they will not quit.
Anything else? We got time for one more. Go ahead, John Bryce over on the line.
Thanks. Marcus, you talked Monday about the analytics for the injuries and how much they were reduced this camp. I was wondering if you could shed a little bit more insight on that and how you guys evaluated it every day. What were the things you looked at? I know you cited tremendously reduced soft tissue and concussion injuries, but what were those analytics and metrics that you looked at?
Well, I don't really get feedback on the analytics of the injuries every day. I'm getting feedback in terms of the workload and the volume, and hey, here's different suggestions for the following day. Same thing for this week, right? Is we had to make some adjustments based off of what I thought going in Monday, how I wanted it to be structured versus what the total output was. I had to change a little bit of Wednesday's practice. The heat added something to that. But Waggle and Rob Hunt were able to give me this report at the end of fall camp and say, hey, I just want you to know we've done a good job at keeping our players healthy. Here's some numbers that will tell you that. And so it's good to see, and John, I wish there was a perfect science. We'll evaluate after the end of this season. We'll say, hey, did we get it right? There's always going to be a way to improve. It is what it is. Like, you have to find a way to improve, but I hope we can look back after season and say, man, we prepared the right way. Or, man, you know what, we need to enhance a little bit more.
Well, we got time to sneak in a couple, two quick ones in the middle, in the back.
Brian O'Leary from the Irish show. Coach, from a personal standpoint, do you feel you've evolved as a head coach coming into this year, and do you think the players are recognising changes in which you wanted to implement based on the learnings of last season?
Yeah, I hope they say as a person he hasn't changed. As a defensive coordinator 2 years ago, I haven't changed. I'm still the same person, but the structure of how we do things have changed, and why it's because of experience. And any person in this room could say that, hey, with experience, right, you become better. Like, there's no substitution for it. And I could have planned 20 years of my life to become a head coach, and still the blueprint doesn't work until you actually go through it and say, okay, let's make tweaks and adjustments to fit this team. Like, a blueprint doesn't just fit any program. You got to be able to fit it around your team, and that's what I've been able to do. And you know what, next year, we might not be back, but if you come over to the stage and ask that same question, I'll say, I'm better this year, because there's no substitution for experience. But I truly believe we've been able to enhance.
All right, last one, back row.
Coach Ken McGuire from AP. Since we're in Europe, what's your general assessment of quality of European prospects? And do you see any trends with European kids in college football?
I thought you were going to ask about quality of life here. I'm still messed up with driving on the other side of the road, and the roads are so narrow. It scares me sometimes. But we had a young man from Germany last year on our team named Alex Ahrensberger, and the game of football, American football, is continuing to grow here in Europe in different parts. And so I think as it continues to grow, games like Saturday's game will help promote the game of American football, right? And as you get more interest, there's great athletes in Europe, trust me, we see it in plenty of other sports. So as the game continues to grow, the more young people continue to play the game of American football, and the prospects will continue to rise. But there's been plenty of European prospects that have come over to the States and been really good football players, and I think that will continue to excel.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Okay, we have JD Bertrand and Chris Tyree. Chris Tyree, who is wearing number 4 for the rest of the year now. So you can update all your rosters. All the rosters will be updated tomorrow. But he's new number 4. No opening statements. We're going right into questions. So please raise your hand. Go ahead, Len. In the middle.
JD, Len Clark, Irish Illustrated. Can you describe the feeling of playing at Aviva Stadium, a pitch that your father played on when he was an All-Ireland player at Blackrock?
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. I mean, I think the coolest opportunity for me is just it brings together family from the U.S., from Ireland, kind of brings everyone together and allows us to be here together and just have the opportunity to play in front of them. I mean, it's definitely just an exciting time.
Last year you missed the Navy game. What is your momentum going in? What are you looking to do in this game?
Yeah, honestly, just do my job. That's the biggest thing. Playing Navy, playing any team, but especially Navy's, everyone has to do their job. You have to do your 1 of 11 to be able to get that win. So that's the biggest thing going into this game.
Next question, raise your hand, please. Tim, go ahead. Tim Priest, Urban One.
JD, you mentioned doing your job. Specifically, what is your job in this defense against this type of offense?
Yeah, I mean, it obviously varies depending on the call. I mean, in general, you could say the front 7 guys are mainly run stoppers, and stereotypically, when playing Navy in the past, you have a little bit less zone coverage, a little more man coverage, so that puts us a little bit more in the run stopping.
How frustrating was it for you last year not having the opportunity to play against Navy?
Yeah, I mean, missing any game is obviously frustrating. Missing a full game against Navy it's a bummer, and it's something that's in the past, and I did my best I could to help the guys and help them prepare, and so I'm just excited to be able to be out there this year, and especially in Ireland.
Go ahead, right down in the front row.
Michael McQuaid, Pro Football Ireland. The question for each of you guys. Firstly, Chris, making a positional change in the off-season. How have you found that now as we start this season this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's been a pretty smooth transition for me. You know, just taking the time from the spring when I actually made the change to now. I think I made a lot of progress, and I'm proud of where I'm at right now. But like I said before, like I'm nowhere where I want to be. But you know, I'm excited to show what I can do out there.
Perfect, thank you. And JD, obviously you had a great end of last season. What have you been doing off the field and on the field to try and get yourself to that next level going into this year?
I'm always just trying to learn. I think that's the biggest thing, and that's the thing I really like about football. And whether it be conversations with guys that were on our team that are in the NFL now, or guys that have been in the NFL but may not be anymore, is just kind of continuing these conversations and continuing to learn. And then obviously, I mean, there's the physical side of things, but the mental side also, so just continue to enhance both of those.
All right, Allison up on the left, guys.
Chris, is there any significance to the number change? What was the reason for changing the number and any connection to that number?
Yeah, the primary reason was for punt return reasons. I'm the punt returner, and there's 2 number 2s on the field at the same time. We actually just realized that like earlier this week, so we had to make some changes.
Any special connection to the number 4?
Yeah, I wore it in high school, so you know, I've worn it before, so I figured why not change back to it.
All right, we'll shoot down to the front row, all the way to the left, guys. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so guys, both of you, what's been your greatest inspiration to be able to illustrate your talent in the field?
I would say my parents. You know, they're the ones that introduced me to the game. You know, all the sacrifices that they made for me to be where I'm at right now. I'm really blessed for them to, you know, be able to do that. And, you know, I try to represent them, represent my last name to the best of my ability every day.
I would say similarly, my parents that put in so much time, but then also just God. Like, He's given us this opportunity to play football and just to be able to maximize it. And so I just I work to be able to maximize myself, to be able to kind of do the best I can because God's given me this opportunity.
Yeah, okay, over here on the right, guys.
Hi, this is Chris from F14 Community in Dublin. It's the 96th time in Notre Dame and they play each other. What do you think that rivalry is going to feel like, you know, getting on the pitch with the Fighting Irish behind you on Saturday?
I mean, we always know Navy's going to be a tough game. They're just a great opponent, and I think one of the coolest things is that there really is a respect piece kind of for the things that they do off the football field, we have that respect for them, and the 364 other days of the year, like, we're cheering for them, but this game, it's always a little different, and so, I mean, we're always gonna bring our best for this game.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing that I think about Navy is their discipline. You know, we take this game very seriously, especially when we're playing Navy. So, you know, our approach is taken very seriously, and I think our preparation is, you know, even turned up. Not saying that we're more heavily prepared for other games, but you know, it's something that we think about very, very heavily.
All right, last one is the third row over here, guys, right in the middle.
Chris, talk about the logistics that go into catching 20,000 footballs over the summer. How much time did you have to put in?
Yeah, I would say that's a lot of help from the new mark machines that we got throughout the summer. You know, you can get a lot of balls in, you know, like basically about 30 minutes to an hour. You know, just being able to take those off days, or even when we have free time throughout the day, throughout the summer, and even during the off season. You know, taking the receiver group in, trying to rotate and just catch as many balls as we can is what we were doing. So.
And are those are catches and not just attempts, right? You caught 20,000?
It's no point in counting drops. There's no point in counting those. So.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, last one, real quick in the back row. There, guys.
So, guys, I think one of the goals today was to stay awake, right? I mean, to not go to sleep too early. What are you doing today to kind of do that besides practice?
Yeah, we've had a little bit of a kind of stretch out, walk around kind of things, meetings. I mean, they're just making sure we're packed all the way through since when we got to the hotel, and so that's been the biggest thing so far.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, stretching, trying to keep moving.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.